My name is Amanda Banks, and I am a Behavioral Health Ambassador with the HBCU CARES program, which is housed on the campus of Clark Atlanta University. Welcome to Grad School 101. I will share tips and tricks to help you create a standout application for any graduate program. Although the grad school process can be a daunting task, it is the time for you to communicate your purpose and plans for the future to people who are already invested in you. One of the most important aspects of the application process is creating a statement of purpose or a personal statement because this is your introduction to the graduate program. Your statement of purpose can often be a confusing or anxiety provoking task for many students, but it is simply communicating your why. Why is this program important to you? You can answer that question by outlining these three statements that are reflected throughout your essay. You want to convey who you are as a student, what are your passions and goals, what have you already done to move yourself closer to those passions and goals, and how can this program assist you in meeting those passions and goals. You may also want to consider including why you've selected whatever behavioral health field. Why is psychology your chosen field, or counseling, or social work? What makes that field important to you? This is not the time to be modest, and so you want to highlight the best qualities and connect elements of your essay to aspects of your other aspects of your application, which include your transcript or resume. Be sure to seek advice from those who know you best because they can contribute to identifying some positive traits that you may have failed to mention in your application or in your essay rather. This is also the time to have a trusted professor review and revise your statement of purpose because this not only gives you an opportunity to create a stronger essay, but it also helps you identify potential letter writers. And letter writers are necessary to provide you that recommendation to speak to your strength as a student. When selecting your letter writer, you want to submit a formal request for a letter of recommendation via email and then follow up with a in-person conversation. Now in your email, you need to detail what university you're applying for, what program you're applying for, and any pertinent deadlines because many of the applications do require that you meet a certain deadline. When you select a professor, there are several things you want to consider. The first is who is familiar with your work ethic. You want to think about professors that are not just familiar with you as in the classroom, but also outside of the classroom. So who are you working with in terms of extracurricular activities and what can they speak to? You also want to consider who would have the time to dedicate to this process. Now again, if you're selecting a letter writer, they need to know what program you're looking towards, and also your passions and your goals. So they need to be intimately familiar with you, but also familiar with what needs to be in your letter. So that takes time. You also want to select someone who will quickly respond to the deadlines. If someone is too busy or doesn't have the capacity or the time to meet the deadlines, they're probably not the best person to select to write your letters. The last tip I'd like to share is about the interview process. Now, if you've been selected for an interview, then congratulations. The hard part is done and you're halfway there. The department is clearly impressed by what they see on paper, and it's your job to confirm that you are a good fit for their program. So in preparation for the interview, you should go in already feeling confident. But to prepare, you want to make sure that you have a folder with all of the documents that were included in your application. This way, during the interview, you can refer back to information that you may have forgotten or things you want to further highlight to show that you're a good fit. You also want to make sure that you do research on the faculty members so that when they ask, do you have any questions? You actually have questions that are specific and that are pertinent to how they will be able to assist you in furthering your education. Last and most importantly, you want to make sure that you have adequate rest and relaxation the day before your interview. Interview processes can be very, very lengthy, and you want to make sure that you have enough energy to get through the day looking and feeling your best. I hope that these tips were very helpful for you, and I wish you the best on your graduate school journey.